Sky Squad, we are back in the building, and I had, you know what? I thought from I have been thinking about doing this for a long time, right? Because I met the Brooke Ashley, okay, when I went to New York to the Real Housewives of Dubai premiere,
Yep.
and I met you and your mom. Was it correct?
Yes. Yes.
And I just remember y'all, I almost felt like I got to cling to these other black folk in the room. Okay. That's the truth. Let me tell you why. Because you know how it is when we go into these spaces a lot of times, right? And it's not always a lot of people that look like us in these spaces. So I remember meeting you and your mom, and y'all were just like so nice and welcoming. And so for me, those types of things always, I remember them. I remember those moments in my mind. So I'm super glad, like a year and a half later,
I do too.
we are able to sit down. And so thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I feel honored.
I have fallen in love with your recaps of Beverly Hills.
Oh,
That
thank you. Thank
that was
you.
one of the shows that I remember like you recapping and just kind of like going in with this sophisticated like these like it's like a little spicy refined shade. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Where does that come from, and how did you actually get into this space? I want people to know that.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, how did I get into this space? It's really funny because my mom was definitely one of my biggest supporters. She pushed me to get out my comfort zone because I had lived in LA for a little bit. I was trying to do the acting thing, came back home to New York, and my parents were like, Brooke, you need, like, this is your dream. Like, you've always wanted to be, a star. Like, you need to, like, get up, and do something, and not just, like, because it didn't work out. And I got discouraged, and they really lifted me up, and they said, no, get out, start a YouTube channel. And I was like, really? You think I can do that? And they were like, yes, start it. So I started in at the end of 2019. And I remember that first year, like the first 11 months, it was slow. I mean, nobody was watching me. I had maybe like two comments, one from my mama, like, oh, I love you. And then, I had like these sex bots commenting, like, oh, like, looking for sexy girls, and I'm like, oh, wow, 5 comments, and 20 views. So I think it was the start of season 5 of Potomac, that dreadful season.
Mm.
That's when they got the momentum. I was on Candace's side, which was not the popular side to be on. And that's when my channel just, it blew steam. And here we are. It will be 5 years this September. And it's such a blessing. I mean, it really shows you just to start. I remember I started with like a cracked iPhone 7, and like it just shows you don't start with what you have. Now I have all the, I have the camera, and but when I first started, I had none of that. And it's like, it really shows you when God puts a dream in your heart, nothing and nobody can stop it. And just start with what you have right now, and look what can happen. Now, I mean, I'm talking and I'm collabing with people that I've looked up to. I looked up to you, and I mean, it's what a blessing. So I hope that wasn't too long-winded, but that's how I got
No,
my start,
I
and I'm
know
just thankful.
that's what I wanted the people and myself to know because like you said, I started with my iPhone. I was using my iPhone for like a good long time when I
Yeah.
first started. And I find that it's really not the thing you're using, it's really just
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes. It's
That's what
true.
people fall in love with. And I noticed that you said, around season 5, you had a particular side that you took. I often think about these things like oftentimes we take a person's perspective based on our own personal experiences a lot of times. And I think that people may have also connected because there were people who had each side. So people were looking, I think, at that point in time for people who
Yeah.
resonated with them. And I think that
Yes.
just happened to be one of the things that also worked in your favor because you were speaking from your heart about
Mhm.
what you felt and people connected with that.
Yes. Absolutely. So I really, I credit all that, just being myself. And I think like people will be in my comments and say, Brooke, I want to start. And I always say, you have to start. Don't put it off another day. Don't put it off another week, and be consistent. I can't, you have people doing those videos saying, well, how to make a YouTube channel, how to be successful. It's really all about, are you consistent? Do you have the work ethic? Because YouTube is no joke. You're going to work for that check on the 22nd. Like, okay, you're going to work for every dollar.
Yes, God.
What I'm saying? Like, if you think that it's just a quick buck, you are sadly mistaken. And you need to put in the work. Don't focus on the views and subscriber count. When I tell you, I remember talking, I would say to myself, talk to people, talk to this screen like you're talking to, like you already have 10,000 subscribers. And I mean, I had 164 subscribers, 2 views, all these sex bots commenting on my mom, and I'm talking like I have the subscriber count that I do now, where I'm getting a ton of engagement. And just, if you can just keep your eye on the prize and say, this will pay off, and you'll be encouraged. But if you're focused too much on, well, I should be here, and why aren't I there? And well, how come I don't have 1,000 yet? Or why don't, you're not going to be able to sustain yourself, because YouTube has its highs and its lows. There are some videos where you feel like you've done a great job and you don't get that many views, and you have to keep going. So I would just say, for anybody, for any dream, it doesn't have to be just YouTube, but whatever you want to do, please just start. You're going to feel so good, because you don't want to get to the end of your life. Think about it. I'll never forget hearing 100 years from now, you and all the people who critiqued you and hated on you, we're all going to be dead, and nobody's going to care. So don't focus on, like you cannot focus on people laughing at you, or don't just look ahead. Do not look to the left or the right. Look ahead and just stay focused.
Let me tell you something. So let me say this. Let me tell you how I always know I'm in the right space at the right time at the right moment. I'm always in alignment, because when I have a conversation with somebody, I never intend for the conversation to be, I don't intend for it to be motivational. I don't intend for it to uplift anybody, but it just always happens. I'm just having a little moment right here, because I'm just thinking to myself, like, we were supposed to do this last week, but I got sick, right?
Yes.
So let me tell you, I just feel like God always works in this weird, interesting way. I don't even know if we would have had this conversation the same way last week. But because we're doing it today, right now, at this point in time, it naturally happened. You know what I'm saying? And I always feel like the work we do is meant to inspire others. And so I'm so glad that you said all that, because I feel like no matter what we talk about today, to be honest with you, that was the most important thing.
Wow.
That was it, for real. Like, I feel like my job on this internet is to entertain, or hopefully educate or motivate, right? And much of it is entertaining, because we're talking about some mess, right? But it's times like these when I'm like, yes, I'm in the right moment. Thank you, God. So I had to get that out. Thank you for that. Thank you. Because that's gonna take somebody else to someplace else.
Yes. And I always pray every time I do a video, and I always pray before I do a collab that something that I say resonates. And one thing that my dad always taught me is that the blessing is not just for you, it's for other people. You're blessed to be a blessing. So you can never, you get blessed, you can't just hoard it for yourself. It's to share it to other people and to bless them. So I always try to have that mindset that with whatever I do, I hope I can be a blessing to somebody, even if not to everybody, but I hope that I can be a blessing to at least one person.
That's it. That's all we can do. I cannot believe. Let me tell for y'all watching. She came on here. She had the nerve to get on here and say she was nervous before she started. Okay. Little did we know she got the word of God running all up and through her. Okay, while she's sitting there looking like a supermodel. So now that we done blessed them, let's get them with the mess. Okay.
Yes. Already.
Okay. You mentioned Potomac, right? And you talked about how you kind of had like you had the you took Candace's side and you understood, and her experience on the show resonated with you at the time. It didn't
Yes.
resonate with me at the time, mostly because of how I grew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was I had to actually go back and apologize to Chris Bassett later on, because what I didn't do was I didn't make space for whatever her experience might have been, because I was so consumed with how I would have felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is what I did, because I grew up fighting, right? So for
Mm.
me, it's like you you get too close. I mean, that's it, right? You just learn that behavior when you have to grow up fighting. And I don't wish that on anybody, to be honest with you. I don't. I mean, you learn certain lessons, but I don't wish that. I say all that to say, fast forward to today, and
Mhm.
we are at a different space in Potomac now. How do you feel about the current cast as it is? Would you keep the current cast moving forward, or would you have a stern talking to, or what would you do moving forward? Actually, how did you just feel about it in general?
Well, let me start off by saying that Potomac has not been the same since season 5. That's just whose ever side that you're on, we can all agree on that one point, that the show has not been the same since season 5, right? It's been
Yeah.
on a steady decline. I think that some changes need to be made. This is me, and this is me taking out all of my biases, or me disliking. I'm not saying this because I dislike. So if you follow me, you know that I do not like the Green Eyed Bandits or Ashley, right? I'm very clear about that. But I'm saying this coming from a space of, it's not even about not liking them. I'm saying
Yeah.
this from a business standpoint. If I were in charge of casting, I would let go or demote Ashley. Ashley has not had a concrete storyline in several seasons. She has been coasting. Robin would also get the pink slip, because you had a prime opportunity to share about you and Juan, and you refused to do that. And that should be an immediate firing. You're on the show to showcase a good chunk of your life, right? And she's just not doing that. If we're being honest, the storyline that we should be focusing on this season should be about Robin and Juan, not about Wendy and NECA and this stupid shrine and voodoo talk. It doesn't
Oh,
make sense how Robin's storyline has become a secondary storyline when she should be at the forefront. That's unacceptable. Giselle should be off. I think that Giselle is the Lisa Rinna of Potomac. When Giselle's not around, the ladies are able to communicate and try to have a good time. When she's there, you feel the tension. And again, I'm not saying this because, oh, you just don't like her. I'm saying this, I'm being fair. There are housewives where I feel they're insufferable. I don't like them on other franchises, but I can acknowledge when they are a good housewife. Giselle is not a good housewife, in my opinion. She's not bringing her personal story. We don't know anything about her. I mean, at the last reunion, we had no idea that she even had siblings. I thought that she was an only child the way she acts. So I was surprised. It's like, we should know certain stuff about you, but we're not getting personal stories anymore. So I think that they can go. Mia is a toss up. Mia is somebody who will do anything for a check and for camera time. I guess you could keep Mia because she is entertaining, even though she does tell lies. Um, like a lot of this cast it's a mess. The dynamic is screwed up. I would definitely let go of 50% of this cast if I had it my
mm,
way.
mm.
And I love Wendy. I'm a big fan, but I can be objective and I can be fair. And I can say, Wendy, if you want to continue on this show, I'm going to need more of a storyline than you opening up a new business every season.
Mm.
And that's just me being fair. I want more. I want more from you than just that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because I do feel like I said it the other day. I felt like we're at a place where, for me, I feel like Giselle has set the tone for what the show is today. And things that worked seasons 1 through 4 stopped working after season 5, because
Yes.
the wool was pulled back and we discovered who the person behind the curtain actually was. And
Mhm.
ever since then, I feel like oftentimes the girls will model her behavior. And whether they know it or not, I feel like it could be a subconscious thing, but it's one of the reasons why no one is able to ever move on. And the person that they probably should be modeling is Karen. While Karen can be oftentimes maybe a little bit slippery, a little bit confusing, I feel like it's done with a wink and a smile and a dose of
Yes.
fun. And I think that's why people resonate. Like Karen resonates with people. I mean, whether you like her or not, there's something about her. I feel like she adds a value there that is a staple to the show. So I
Yes.
just think that Giselle is doing the exact opposite of what Karen is doing. And I think it's to the detriment of the show. So I'm in total agreement with you.
Mhm.
100%. 100%. And I just don't know that I have faith in the casting that anything is going to really change.
Mhm.
My
I
fear
know.
is that they will let this train continue to run right off the station, out of the station.
I feel that way, and I get the weird feeling that they might keep everybody and let go of Candace and Wendy because the way production is favoring Giselle and Robin and the way that they are clear in the icing out of them. And also, we're seeing Wendy get limited screen time unless she's in a group scene. Like if she didn't go to Surrey, she would not have been in this episode. She only had 20 seconds that date night with Eddie, and that was that. And if you go back and look, like Candace too. Candace has had limited screen time, in my opinion. So I feel like I'm getting nervous that they're going to remove the wrong people and
Yeah.
keep the. I just get that weird feeling, and I hope that's not the case, but it's leaning that way.
Yeah, and I think also too, because those people that we just spoke about, I feel like they will somewhat do, I think, what producers want them to do, right? In terms of
Yes.
bringing story. But I just feel like, but they're not doing what's needed to be done to keep the show cohesive. And
Mhm.
it's just no fun anymore. Like there's no, I don't, I kind of hate watch a little bit. Not hate watch, I stress watch it.
Yeah.
That's a better term. I was hate watching Beverly Hills when Lisa Rinna was on it. Speaking of which, let's run on over to Beverly Hills because that's where I first discovered you was Beverly Hills, and I will always go watch your Beverly Hills
Oh,
recap.
thank
I
you.
don't know what it is and why I equate you with Beverly Hills.
Thank you.
Maybe it's because of the way you carry yourself. Side note, your mama
Yes,
looks like she could be your sister.
I
For
know.
those who don't, know, okay,
Yes.
if they
Oh,
see y'all out, I was like,
mhm.
wait, that's mom's.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Well,
mom.
she used to be a model. Yeah. Yep.
Hence what I first said when you first sat down today. I said, "Okay, come on, supermodel." So, so let's get into Beverly. How are you feeling about Beverly Hills this season?
Chef's kiss, 10 out of
Mm.
10. No critiques. Lisa Rinna is gone. Thank God. The group is moving forward. And can I tell you something? I never thought that I would sort of come to like Miss Erica Jane because after she was the way she was acting these last 2 seasons, but she is slowly winning me over. And I love this newfound friendship with her and Garcelle and Sutton when they had that girls' night. I was here for it.
That was like one of my favorite moments. I've actually
Yes.
had a couple of like favorite moments this season. I just feel like there's still drama, but it
Yes.
just feels better to me.
Yes. Yes.
Like I feel like I'm watching a show I want to watch.
Yes.
I enjoy it so much. I don't even recap it.
Oh, okay. That's see, because you just want to enjoy it. You don't want to have to dissect it and take
Yes.
notes and think of commentary. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yes. Yes. Wait, do you have any shows that you do that with that you just like that you love, but you don't talk about?
Yes. There are a few like they want me to get people. A lot of my subscribers want me to recap Traders, and I just want to savor it. And Traders is so good. I just want to savor it. I don't want to take notes. I don't want to do any commentary. I just want to enjoy it, and then that's it. But yeah, that's my show right now where I'm into, and I don't even know if I want to do commentary because it's just that good.
When you're making your notes on a show, and
Yeah.
this is for me, okay? This ain't for the audience. This is for me. Because I'm taking notes like a secretary, man. I am like, And I'll be so tired when I'm done. I'm like, ooh.
Hand is hurting. I'm like this. I gotta blow it off because I just and don't let it be two shows in one night, like when Potomac American Medicine or Beverly Hills in Miami. And I'm like this, and I'm
Oh
taking. I'm
my
like,
God.
I know, yeah.
It's okay, so it's not just me. Because I'll
It's
be
not
wondering, like, is anybody else like tired? Like, and I try to tell people all the time, like, when you got two shows back to back, by the
woo.
time you do that second show, like, the second show don't always. The second show either gets a very delirious version of me.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what usually happens.
yep,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, so it's
No,
not just me.
we're on the same page. But you know what? I am for 2024. I said I am no longer going to stress myself out about anything. So I feel like the notes, I do a good job already. The notes, I'm not going to stress if I didn't get every little thing. You
Yeah,
get the gist of what I'm saying. If I didn't get what they said verbatim, I'm gonna, just say, okay, well, I think they said this, but I'm not going to stress myself out and make sure that it's so perfect because who can live like that? It's just too much.
it,
So I
it,
said, you know what?
it's too much.
It is too much. I just have to relax. And I've been more relaxed about it. So now I don't feel as stressed when I do the notes.
Mhm,
I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I did a good job. Pat
mm.
myself on the back. I did it.
Okay, I'm about to take that advice as well because it's just
Yeah,
it's stressful, and I don't
it
think
is.
people realize that. How do you feel about Anne Marie?
Anne Marie, Miss 8.5.
I
And she
can't
was
believe A, her husband said that, and B, she said it aloud.
and proud of it. She said she's proud of it. But did you see her on the after show where it was last week's after show where she went into depth about how she likes the fact that her husband is honest and when they first dated, they would go into a restaurant and he would be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that our waitress, like I slept with her, that one right there, I slept with her, like I slept with her before, I slept with her before, like you're in a room with a whole bunch of women that I slept with." And she said, "Okay, good, as long as I know, like I don't care. Like I got a man. Like that's how she is." And it's like it's so sad. It's very pick me behavior. I don't like Anne Marie. She can go. I don't like Anne
Oh,
Marie.
weird.
Very
You know,
weird.
it's so funny. I don't want to know any of that. I don't. I don't want to know
Well,
who you slept with unless. And let me tell you something. You tell me who, if your most recent ex. That's it. That's all I want to
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Just in case, because I've had it where the person has come in and they've tried me and I didn't know. So I'm
yeah.
like, let me know, okay? That's all I want to know. Anybody else? Anything else you did? It didn't exist before me.
Yes, like that's a little bit strange to just say, oh yeah, her, and her. Like, that's a little bit weird. But if
Mm,
you're saying if we're talking like, oh, like, exes or whatever, and you think I should know, then that's one thing. But
yeah.
not when we're at a restaurant, I'm sitting down to eat my steak, and you're like, oh yeah, like tell me like I don't know. There's a way to do stuff, and that's just not the way to do it. Like you could do it a bit gentler, I feel, if that makes sense. I don't know.
I do get that. I
Right?
have a question. I'm frustrated with Kyle. I just want to know, like, what your thoughts are about it because here's what I feel. I
Hmm.
feel like what Kyle is doing on the show is anybody that asks about her marriage, I think she is gaslighting them in the
Yes.
audience
Yep.
by acting as though, well, why are you asking me about my marriage? Why are you asking if he's cheating? Or why do you suspect him to be cheating? But I think it's difficult also, too, because the audience knows girl, like you're in the middle of a separation. Like, so we knew that was happening then as we're watching this play out. It would
Hmm.
have behooved her to say how bad things had gotten between them because the way she positioned it at the beginning of the season made it feel like she thinks it's the catch all. Like, oh, I said we've been having some problems. No, girl, you didn't indicate the extent to what those problems are.
I agree. I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. I thought it
No,
was me.
we're on the same page. I think Kyle probably made a deal with Andy that she's going to tell everything at the reunion, because she, like, you know, the reunion always does like major numbers. And I think she probably said, well, I'm going to like tease the audience and my cast members all season long. But at the reunion, I'm going to give you the exclusive and tell you what exactly happened. That way the ratings are up and they break record numbers. I think it's that. I think she's looking out for the bag, and she wants to make sure that she gets a lot of attention and priority at the reunion. So that's why she's like gaslighting us, giving us crumbs that something's wrong, but not telling us exactly what happened.
And I feel like she's a horrible friend.
No, she is. She is.
The way she's talked about Sutton potentially having like an eating disorder. She's like kind of like made fun of the whole esophagus thing. You know, I just feel like she's treated her kind of piss poor. And now she's doing it to Dorit. Like, I feel like she's distancing herself from her, like this close friendship that they allegedly used to have. And now it was just like, oh, it was never all that. And I'm like, is this because you got this girl over here? Like, and what's going on with that? When are we gonna get some real responses to that?
I think at the reunion. We're gonna have to wait.
It better not be a Drew Fedora and Ralph.
Oh no, I think that this is real because this is real, I think, because she was sobbing at BravoCon when she was asked about this. She was sobbing on the stage. I don't believe that she's faking this. I think that this is really real. I mean, did you read the House of Hilton? And it gives you the whole backstory of Kyle, Kathy, and Kim's upbringing and their mom, Big Kathy.
No, I need to read that.
Please read it. Oh, you want to talk about your jaw will be on the floor? The way they talk about their mom, they don't want to say exactly how crazy it was in that home because they always talk about her in code. Their mom, like, we can talk about this off, like, I'm trying to be nice when I say it. The mom was not wrapped too tight, and that's just me putting it nicely. Wow. Like, the stories that were in there of what they endured and what they saw and how she was. Kyle and Kim and Kathy, they all tried to be like the mom because like the mom would low-key like pit them against each other. Like she would have favorites. Whoever made the most money, whoever married the richest, that's who the mom favored. So they're like the reason why their dynamic is so screwed up, why they're always falling out with each other, because it stems from their upbringing. And I think that Kyle is trying to break out of that now. And she's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to live my life trying to please everybody. She tried to please her mom. You know, she's like, I was a perfect mom, the perfect daughter, the perfect wife. And she's tired of it. So I feel like this is real. And she's like, I'm not going to take anybody's crap anymore. I'm done.
I just hope I hope when she tells us what's going on, she gives it to us all. I think that's what more or less frustrated me about Drew and Ralph is that there was so much left on the table that was unsaid that you just kind of felt like I watched the reunion and I still don't know. And I don't want to leave with this reunion.
But you might. I mean, you might, like because yes, this is real life, but like people get so caught up in they want to secure their spot for next season and they want to have a storyline for the next season. So she might not give us everything because she needs her storyline for season 14.
Gotcha.
You know, so we'll have to wait for next season to get the full story. Speaking I guess
of the full story in next season. Whose side are you on, Monica or everybody else?
For SLC? Oh, I'm on everybody else's side. Monica is good and crazy.
Me too.
Good. Monica is crazy. Crazy.
I feel like there are so many people out there who, and listen, everybody has a perspective. So I can get it. But to me, I'm like, do y'all understand like why these women would never want to associate with her? And I don't feel like people really get it because they look at the entertainment value of Monica versus the reality of Monica.
I agree. I think that people are too wrapped up in, oh, well, it wasn't boring and she really, lit the season up. It's like, it's not about that. The fact that somebody is crazy enough to stalk you guys, make a fake page, get on the show, pretend like she's your friend, and she doesn't see anything wrong with that. Like that's not, you're nuts. And you're trying to justify that because you feel like she deserves a spot because she wasn't boring? Like, no. No. You know, she was spying on Jen Shah with the security footage and she's justifying that. I'm like, wait, what? Like, what are we talking about? You know, this woman is dangerous.
I try to communicate that to the audience because I'm like, would you really want somebody who's driving by your house at nights to try to like to be in your friend group? Like, where would you? Wow, who would do that? Make it make sense for me, like it does, because it doesn't. I just had to ask because I was like, maybe if you had to, I wanted to hear your perspective just in case you, whichever side of the fence you fell on, I wanted to hear it. Okay. And then finally, you're watching Married to Medicine as well, right?
Yes, I am.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this season? I want to know, actually, Sweet Tea, Dr. Heavenly, all of it. Give it to me.
Okay, so I feel like this season started off strong. And
Yeah.
then when they kicked Quad off the island, I think that these last 2 episodes have been a flop. I mean, this last episode was pretty good with the whole mess at Phaedra's son's birthday party with Heavenly and Dr. Simone. It looks like the vacation is going to be lit with them all fighting. It's going to be Dr. Jackie versus Sweet Tea. So I can't wait to see all that, how that, you know, what all transpires. But overall, I feel like this season is just okay. It had the potential to really do something. We didn't need Phaedra. Phaedra has not shared anything new. We still don't know who she is. It's just all these one-liners and the same old, you know, child, ooh wee, like it's all that.
Let me tell you, yes, I keep telling people, Phaedra on Traitors and Phaedra on Married to Medicine are 2 different people.
Absolutely. No, she is perfect. If you're not watching Traitors, please watch it. Traitors is amazing. Phaedra is phenomenal on, like, that show is perfect for her. Traitors that is her show. Like, that is hands down. Phaedra is like the breakout star in Traitors.
Who do you think is gonna win Traitors?
I don't know. I could see Phaedra getting to the top 3. I can see CT taking it. Who else? I could see MJ. I could see MJ making it pretty far because, and then wait, who's the other guy who is he's suspecting Dan? I could see him, Bergie from like Love Island or Bergie.
Yeah.
I could see him winning.
I could see him. Dan.
Okay.
Dan is like low-key savage. I think I underestimated him when I first started watching because I didn't watch Big Brother. So I'm just like, who is this random white guy? But I have quickly changed my tune. Okay. And I could potentially, I agree with you. I could potentially see them wanting to keep Phaedra around because she, to me, serves as like the narrator of the show.
Yes, she does.
So it feels like her role is way too important to lose, especially, I think, this early in the game anyway.
Yeah,
So now my question to you is, this is, I think, what I have been dying to ask. Name for me what you feel like is or should be the cast for next season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta and why?
I would like a whole new cast, honestly.
I was not expecting that.
It's time for some fresh faces, don't you think? No? I don't know. Let me drink my tea. If I had to keep some OGs, keep Kenya. I guess bring back Portia and then give me a whole new cast. Just give me 4 new faces.
Okay.
Right?
I can see that because I think that what you need on a show like that is a good frenemyship at its core.
Yes.
I think that's what made Potomac so good in the beginning because they had that. And it seemed
Hmm.
like everything else kind of was built around that. So
Yes.
I could see that working. I could actually, because Kenya and Portia could be good fun together.
Yes.
But it's also interesting to see them go against each other as
Yep.
well. And Portia, I feel like, has a different level of fun, and she brings a different level of fun to the show that they're missing.
Yep.
That's what's missing. That is that fun element that's missing on the show.
Yep. And we would get to be nosy and see the ins and outs of her relationship with Simon. Oh, bring Latoya back. Bring Latoya. Kenya, Portia, and Latoya. I feel like Latoya did not get a fair shake.
I
And
agree
then
with you on that
three new faces.
because she does have a new man now and a whole new baby.
Yes.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Anybody else?
Oh, what about Kenya's friend that we saw this last season?
Mm,
What was her
Akila.
name?
Akila.
Akila. She was pretty, married to a football player, rich. She looks good.
Hmm.
Her personality was great. I didn't think that she was thirsty. She was the perfect. I think she would be a great fit. I think, yeah, let's do her. Let's do the four of them and then two new faces and we're good.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I did kind of talk you into two of them. So my bad.
No, it's okay. It is okay. I love a good suggestion.
All right, Brooke. What else do you have going on? What do you want us to leave with? Because hopefully you'll come back like
Yes.
very very soon and talk some things. And I know that you watched Vanderpump Rules, right?
Yes, I really got into it last season when Scandival broke.
I kind of got back into it as well. I had not watched since season 1,
Okay, yep.
so I was like, let me see what these people got going on over here. What do you have coming up? Because that's coming on tonight. By the time everybody watches this, it'll be later, but it's coming on tonight.
Tonight. So for me, I'm doing it. I am just living life, talking about these housewives. You can catch me on my channel, The Brooke Ashley. I have my Married to Medicine recap that should be up. It'll probably be up tomorrow, honestly. I have my Beverly Hills recaps. Miami, I'm behind on Miami because it's a lot having 4 housewives and Married to Medicine on at the same time. So Miami, I got to play catch up. But please catch me on my channel, The Brooke Ashley. Catch me on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm always running my mouth about these ladies as well. And yeah, I mean, this was an honor. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. I told her before we did this, I'm always nervous about asking people to do stuff like this simply because I know people are busy. You know what I'm saying? I know people got things to do. So the fact that you took time out of your day, you got supermodel ready. I mean, that was already the case. I didn't see you outside of this, so I already know. But the fact that you brought it today, I felt like, dang, I should have stepped up my game over here.
Oh, you look good. You look good.
Brooke, let them know where else where on Instagram specifically they can find you.
Oh, on Instagram, I'm the Brooke Ashley _.
Perfect. And it will be in the link in the description of this video. Brooke, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I had the best time.
And Skye Squad, thank you for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.